Hello and welcome to the Wine Educate podcast, where we explore WSET education, study tips, and practical advice for wine enthusiasts and professionals. This is episode 27, The Big Jump. What makes WSET level 3 harder than level 2? All right, so we are beginning something new, the first episode of a series that I'm going to do on the level 3 class. I have to say that it is the level 3 class that initially prompted me to want to start a podcast in the first place. It is a tricky class, and the jump between 2 and 3 is no joke. So you may not be at the level 3 level just yet, and I completely understand that. I don't want to scare you away if you're just beginning your wine education. I feel it is still going to be really useful for you to listen to these next, I believe I've got 11 episodes on this topic, because if you learn these things early on, these study tips, these study practices, you can start implementing them from the very beginning. And how wonderful is that? If you start getting your study guide organized, even in level 1, and then fine tune it for level 2, so that by the time you get to level 3, you've already got these skills down. So don't discount it if you're not at the level 3 level yet, because many of these tips are going to be really useful for you in your wine studies regardless. All right, level 3 and its complexity, the reason I started this podcast. So the bad news here is that the global pass rate for level 3 is not great. It is hovering around 50%. I believe I just got the latest examiner's report back, and maybe it's a little higher than 50% at the moment, but it's sort of been there for quite some time, and that is a big indicator as to the complexity of this course in many ways. And this often blindsides students. I've been teaching level 3 for 4 years. I see the same exact pain points crop up again and again in class. And these pain points are 100% completely preventable. This is the reason I've also created an online level 3 prep course to address all of these issues. You all are smart, and you are very capable of passing this exam, but you have to be prepared. You have to know what to expect, how to study, and how to approach the exam. So it is my hope that these episodes will be really helpful to you in your preparation for level 3. Maybe you've already taken level 3 and you're put off the exam. Maybe you have taken the exam and you need to take it again, which is fine. Whatever spot you're in and you're studying, I do hope that this will be useful, because my number one goal for you, besides doing well and passing the course, is I want you to enjoy it. It's the point. This is wine. There's no crying in wine class, okay? We love wine. It is a fun topic. So being really prepared will make the classroom experience so much more enjoyable for you. And that is what I want. All right, so now's the time. If you have not already shared this with your fellow WSET students, especially, well, even level 2 and 3 students, please do, because this is the first of my 11 episode series, and I think it's going to be really helpful for you guys. Okay, the key differences between level 1, 2, and 3. Learning complexity. If you look at the different levels, they all address different learning points. So level 1 addresses the what, focuses on identifying wine types, basic characteristics, and food pairings It's all about recognition. An example, champagne has flavors of green apple and biscuit. Okay, that's it. You're just, what it is, identifying it. Level 2 is all about the how. So you're building on level 1 with an understanding of production methods, regions, and styles, and students learn how various factors affect the wine. Example, champagne has flavors of biscuit because the wine spends time on the lees. Okay, so what is happening in level 3 is all about the why. Goes deeper into analysis and explanation. Why does a wine taste the way it does? Why is it priced a certain way? Why does one vintage differ from another? Example, champagne legally must spend 12 months on its lees and therefore develops aromas and flavors of biscuit, brioche. Often champagne houses allow their wines to spend much longer than the legal minimum, which can both delay cash flow and take up cellar space, which contributes to the high price point of the wine. Whew, there was a lot more happening in that answer. You're addressing the why. And you have to link many concepts together. So it's not just about memorizing, knowing your facts, it's about applying them. The exam is also way more complex than the other 2 exams. So level 1 and level 2, we've got our multiple choice questions. Level 3 also has multiple choice questions, but now they're adding these essays, these essay writing, and you have 2 wines to taste, right? So you're tested on your tasting ability. So essentially they're adding 2 completely new elements to the exam. Not only do you need to know the information, you need to know how you're going to be tested and how to tackle that exam. Common things I see students tripping up on. These are the things that I really like to address, and they cannot be addressed in the classroom. These have to be understood and worked on before setting foot in class. So underestimating the workload. It is a lot of study, a lot of your own individual study. And if you don't have a good plan in place, the overwhelm sets in. I mean, I could write, I might do this in another episode, sort of the arc, the timeline of a level 3 class and how I see, the excitement, and then students start to panic, and then they feel more confident, and then they feel overwhelmed. It's this whole roller coaster of emotions, which are all preventable if we come to class feeling better prepared. All right. Another thing that trips students up, not knowing how to study and where to focus your attention. In my level 3 prep course, sort of outline a way to help you study, to kind of keep you focused, keep you accountable and on track, because sometimes trying to pace out your own study time gets very overwhelming. Another issue, getting stuck on essay structure or SAT vocabulary, not having the tools to navigate these things properly, not getting into the nitty-gritty of how to word things and how to answer them, and trying to self-study without feedback. This I hear a lot from students, that they feel pretty lonely in this process. Studying can be very lonely, and especially for my online students. So having a structure and then being able to talk to a group about how your studying is going, even creating that study group, is immensely helpful in keeping you motivated and keeping you accountable, right? So in conclusion, level 3 is a super big jump, but it is entirely doable if we get the structure, support, and your expectations are realistic. So you're handling the information in more like bite-size pieces and not just looking at the whole and getting completely snowed in with your overwhelm. The big thing here is the earlier you start prepping, the more confident you'll feel. And you'll be like my student Mary, and she used to come into class almost like skipping. And she's like, I'm so happy to be in class. That's amazing. I love that because she spent the whole week before reading and preparing so that she was all prepared for the class content. All right, so make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss next week when we're talking about what to actually expect from the Level 3 course itself. Okay? See you on Thursday.